What's up, my friends? The world's a better place because you were here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. Let's do our fourth edition of the Nuclear Opinions Pod. We got me, Ryan, and Jose giving our nuclear opinions, our hottest takes across the world of sports, news, entertainment, and culture. And it's about to go down, so let us have a great time with this. Ryan, Jose, what's going on, gentlemen?
Not much, not much. Happy to be here. Once again, another beautiful day.
All right. Beautiful day from Ryan. Beautiful day from Jose, too.
Felt like I just met you.
Just
Nice to
met
meet
us.
you.
Well, single.
I was about to say, yeah. Met you. Who are these people and why am I on the show?
Well, let's do it again, everybody. Let's enjoy this the fourth edition of the Nuclear Opinions podcast. Right now, me, Ryan, and Jose are gonna do two nuclear opinions each, basically telling you something that has to be told from our perspective. So let's do it right now. Nuclear opinions. Number 4. Ryan, start us off.
All right. We're gonna start off hot. This is my modus, right? My modus operandi. Start off with a big one. I think mandatory national service could heal our country and our divided nation, and therefore should be made a requirement. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when you turn 18 and you graduate your high school, assuming you do that, or even if you don't, doesn't really matter, you are going to have to join for 1 year, just 1 year, either the National Guard, the Peace Corps, or the AmeriCorps program. You gotta pick one of the three.
Jesus, that sounds awful.
1 year.
I don't mind military, but I don't know about the.
Well, you can pick military if you want to. I don't. That's fine. I think if everybody wants to pick military, then sure. There's some people who won't want to pick the military, and so I'm saying pick a different one. That's fine. But you should have to go, and you have to do these things because one, you're helping your country. That's always good. Two, you're serving other people. That's always good. And three, you're doing all of this with people from across the country who are your age who you've never met. You're gonna learn something new. You're gonna meet somebody with new ideas. You're gonna have to get along with people that you previously wouldn't have had much experience needing to get along with. I think genuinely, I think within 5 years, we'd have a whole generation of people. Perfect. They would not hate each other as much as they do now. There would be less division than there is now. And it takes 1 year of working together for the betterment of the country. And then, you get clean up trash and stuff. Like, the country gets something out of it too. So, that's my nuclear opinion. We need to force everybody to join one of those three groups of people for 1 year when they turn 18 years old.
I mean, volunteering is not a bad thing, right?
Well, it's not volunteering when you force them.
Oh,
But yes. It's called involuntary. It's it's required.
All right, my next nuclear opinion. If you see red flags before a date, it is okay to be more comfortable with yourself and cancel.
That's a charitable way to put that. Hard disagree.
Why is that? So
Red flags aren't real, first of all. But also, like I said, it's before a date. I'm gonna assume, let's just assume, this is not based on anything for real, but assumption, this is before a first date. Meaning you don't know this person. Obviously, if you know a person, that's a different situation. But if you don't know this person,
you feel
then
different than your first match.
When you
first match the date, no. The first time you matched,
that's not real.
And then time has gone by and people change their mind.
Yeah, no,
create the red flags.
Maybe, but no. The first match is a dopamine hit because you found someone who likes you. That doesn't count. You can't judge a relationship based on the fact that someone think about, for anyone who's like dated a person in real life, right? Like met them. Think like kids, I'm saying even too. Think about when you find out that somebody's crushing on you. It might not even be someone that you're also crushing on, right? Talking like high school, college, you find out someone's interested in you. Like in person. Instantly, no matter who that person is, you get a little bit like, oh. Like it makes you happy for like even just a split second sometimes or longer depending on who it is, but like Why? Because someone has given you confirmation that a different person likes you and is into you, finds you interesting, finds you funny, finds you attractive, whatever it is, right? Someone has shown an interest in you, and people like it when other people show interest in them. So when you match with a person, when you both swipe the same way, your brain is like, this person is interested in me. It's a dopamine hit because you're like, oh, they like me. They're interested. And that's a great feeling, but that is not a sustainable feeling. You don't spend every day when you find the person that you're meant to be with in a constant state of dopamine overdose.
So let me ask
Your
you, when you
brain
say, "Hey, I'm
rolls.
excited to meet you on said day," and they don't even respond right away, maybe even a couple of days later or a day,
Mhm.
still go on that date,
Yep.
even though you
First date,
expressed
yeah.
your excitement, they didn't even take the time
First
within
date, yeah.
those 24, 48 hours to say, "I'm excited too," even
Yeah.
even if they, you say
Yes.
still go.
If it's a first date, yes.
Would you pay for the first date then?
Yes.
You would pay for my first date?
Tell you what, yeah.
Oh man.
But hold on, I will say this. This is important. Second date or third date, whatever,
If you
not
get
first
there,
date.
that's a big win.
Oh no, but I'm saying not first date. This happens. Not first date. You make a plan. You're like super excited, and you 48 hours passes, and you hear something like a sub bar. That's a different conversation because now she's met you. You've met her.
Right,
You
yeah.
know
At
each
that
other.
point, it's all
So now it
different from
might be
there
like,
for
all right,
sure.
well, right, we talked, and now she doesn't really want to talk to me anymore, or like she's not giving me a lot to go off of. Now it's
Mhm.
different. But you don't know this person. If you're free, go on the date. Period. Don't make yourself unfree because you don't want to go on the date. If you make a plan for Friday, it means you were free for Friday. You should basically confirm until they cancel on you or otherwise that you're going on this date. I don't first date, go. Because you're never going to meet somebody if you cancel first dates. That's the
I
worst way to meet somebody.
actually now listening to you talk about it, I'm going the other way. Um,
Yeah, Jose. Yeah. Really?
I just realized that if I was in Matt's shoes or whoever, I would get so turned off that it would have just killed it. Even if I should, I would still be still disinterested.
And so that's something that I've said offline. And that comes
You're
down
not
to a
trolling
personal thing.
Jose?
No,
See, thank
listen.
you.
I realized putting my shoe in your shoes. I like communication. I like consistency. Once
Thank
the
you.
consistency is gone from me, it's a turn off to me. Once it's turned off, even if I
Well, it's
go
never
and
turned
win,
on. You've known her for a few weeks.
no, when I see that what I like the beginning conversation, that dopamine that turns you
Yeah.
on. Your system is in go.
Yes.
Yours like all right, like it's ready for go time, right? Once
Yeah.
that
That's what I said.
once you get turned off, one of the engines on that rocket ship gets turned the fuck off. What happens to that rocket ship? It's a no go. They said it's
Right. Well,
done.
so I said this offline about a similar situation. I do think depending on the person, if you're down on a date, like if you're down on it just
Mhm.
yourself, you're going to have a bad time. If you show up at a date already kind of down, it's going to be a downer of a date. So I'm saying as a statement of fact, yeah. If you know that you're going to be like not into it, don't go. Don't waste your time. But what I'm saying, separate from that, devoid of any particulars or like as to who the people are, as a general rule, don't get down on a first date that hasn't happened yet. If you're already down on it for
Yeah.
whatever reason, if that's just who you are, or what, or if you unfortunately heard my wonderful and totally correct advice after you've already got down on a date, then you can skip that one because I agree. If you're not feeling it, you're gonna have a bad time. Jose is 100% right. But I'm saying don't give yourself the possibility of having a bad time before a first date has even happened.
Ryan, there's plenty of other girls online I can meet in 2 seconds
Which
that
we've
I can
talked
set
about
up.
on
Who
this
can
nuclear opinion
express
show.
more of those
Yeah.
We
positive
talked about
feelings?
that on this show. The fact that there are so many people online is the reason why nobody's ending up with people that they meet online.
You're
That's why it
probably
doesn't
you're
work.
right. It probably
Apps
doesn't,
don't
but
work.
apps work. It just
I
fucking.
mean, they get you dates. Yeah, you physically get to go on dates. With
Well, it ain't say you're gonna find your match unless you're fucking on eHarmony or some sort to guarantee you some shit.
Then why do people keep using the apps that are guaranteed not to
Because
find you a match?
you're taking it's like fucking buying a mystery box. You're just taking a
Mystery
chance.
box.
You're
Again,
just it might
if
you
you're
might
into
hit.
that, if you're into that, then show. But I think there's people who are using apps but also want to find a true partner, and you're not
You
gonna.
are, but you're
It's not
still.
gonna work.
You're right, but you're
9 times
still.
out of 10, it's not gonna work. I should say.
Yeah,
Why
Of course,
can't somebody
it
just
works.
say, "Hey, I'm excited to see you too"?
They can. They absolutely can. I'm not saying they can or
Then
they shouldn't.
You're already go from if we're on a meter from 0 to 10 in the again. I know you don't like to use the words, but the flag
You
meter
can say there's
that
not
goes
real,
up.
yeah.
That goes from a say you're at a 5 now. You are already at a 6.5, maybe even 7.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. It's nice. Again, it's always nice to feel like you're wanted. It will always make your brain feel good.
Right,
I
and
don't
it's just
disagree.
it helps I think it helps. It helps a lot of the situations, but that's the message I am receiving. Like you want to know, I had a similar situation of what was it? Supposed to be Friday Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. Don't hear from them throughout the weekend. Try to check in. Hey, how are you doing? Sunday comes, you don't cancel the date because there's nothing to acknowledge here. Unless they acknowledge. And I said, if this person says, hey, I want to still do this, I will go, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't say it's Sunday. They say they can't. They say, hey, I'm too tired, right? And, I was excited too. I was in my element watching games and stuff. And then they asked me, hey, do you want to do a raid check? I was like, yeah, let's do a raid check. You even asked me for a raid check. Offer Wednesday, right? Yeah, let's do Wednesday. Tuesday comes. Hey, we still on? Never hear from them again. But Tuesday, Wednesday. So this is only in reverse now. And I was right because I knew my gut instinct.
But what do you get for being right? You don't get a cookie.
I don't have cash loss and time wasted.
Yeah. Well, again, if you look at it as an investment of time and money, or either or, then you're already looking at it in a way it's a losing proposition. Finding someone, like having a person, is always going to cost you time. And I'll focus on the time because I don't want to make this about like a money thing. If you talk about time, like there is a lot of time where I would like to do something else and I can't. And the reason that I can't is because I haven't spent more than like 20 minutes with my wife in a week. So guess what? I would love to go to the bar, but I can't because I said I would be home for dinner and have dinner with my wife. And that's okay. And we might not talk about anything fun. I may not get laid after the dinner. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like you might not get anything, but when you've committed to doing something, then you've committed. Let me finish. Then you commit to do something. Now, I understand you don't know these people, and I get that. But what I'm saying is if you start off from this idea of it's got to be worth the investment, then every day after, it's going to look less and less worthy of the investment because the investment is never guaranteed to pay off. That's not why you do it.
I agree. You shouldn't look at dating as transactions. But if somebody's just showing already and not really showing a lot of interest, why should you spend time with that person?
Because if you go to the date and you meet them and you hit it off, you guys could end up, having a really long relationship.
True.
But you can't because you won't go. Not you, but you in this case.
I know what you're
but in other
saying.
Cases.
But the odds are against you. Sure, if you want to do that.
I mean, yeah, I won't say the odds are against you anyway.
And then
you get married, the odds are against you. 75% of marriages end in divorce. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, relationships, odds are against you. You're always against the odds in a relationship.
But, and as a gambling man, you go where your odds are best suited and where you can afford to lose cash and money.
Right, but that's looking at the transactional side, and I just think that that's a hard way to certainly start a relationship.
Yeah, man. We do have to move on, but I think now, and as we've seen with the dating app culture,
Can I just say one thing real quick, Ryan? Your example, if you haven't seen your wife in 20 minutes and within the whole week, and you have dinner and you don't get laid, you should get a divorce.
Okay, that was literally an example, Jose. I was
Well,
using
I'm
it to
just saying,
alliterate a
if
point.
I'm just saying, you only meet your wife for 20 minutes of the whole week. You only see your wife and you
Again,
have
and
one
that's what I'm
shitty
saying.
dinner. There's
It's
very sex and after that. That's what I'm
well, but again, like I said, it was an example. I wasn't saying anything specific. I'm saying, as an example, when you care about somebody, just
saying.
having the dinner is is perfectly fine. It's you're happy to spend time with the person, even if you don't personally get very much other than their company out of it. That's the point that I'm making. If you get their company, it's a win. It doesn't matter what you're doing in their company. And so there's going to be times where the amount you put in is not going to feel like equal to the amount you get out, but it will be because of whom you're spending time with. That's my point. But if you never spend time with them because it never feels like it's going to pay off, then you'll never spend time with them and therefore you'll never have that experience.
yeah, well, I just feel better going to dates with people who acknowledge me.
There
Such
you
is
go.
life.
Put your ones up.
I mean, I say that very seriously too.
No,
Just
I hear
acknowledge
you.
me, and I just don't. Not. I feel you at least got to feel acknowledged.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right. Well, Jose, you're next. What would you like to say?
Can we finally say that the WNBA is trash? Like that has
The
anybody?
playoffs are now. The playoffs are on. Who's
Yeah,
watching?
yeah. Who's watching? I don't even know who's in the for the fucking playoffs. That's how trash it is. So, all y'all dumb fucks that's into the WA, especially that one fella.
So question for you, actually, Jose.
Yeah,
Do you know when the cricket playoffs are?
yeah. Every April.
Are they really?
I
No,
mean,
I don't fucking know.
yeah, okay. I knew that was wrong because
that was a
but
good
anyway,
one.
listen. You almost ruined it, but I knew you were lying, so it's okay. So is cricket trash?
Huh?
Is
Oh,
cricket
I think you're
trash?
asking the wrong person.
I'm asking Jose.
No, cricket's trash.
Okay.
It's the worst, one of the worst. There's fucking Indian people play that shit.
Well, right. I mean, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, but you're talking to a
A
Hispanic,
lot of
a
people
guy
like cricket.
who likes cricket,
You
Ryan.
just, as you pointed out, quite a lot of the Indian, the country of
Yeah,
India.
yeah. What's our Indian demographic on this show?
I
Probably
don't, that's
point
not what I
two.
asked. I'm not speaking to our audience. I'm saying that's a lot of people who really like cricket. And you said it's trash because you don't know when the playoffs are or who's
I
in the
think it's.
playoffs.
I know as playoffs is going on in WNBA, it is still trash.
Right, so you frankly you know more about the WNBA than you do cricket.
I don't know who's playing. I know it keeps
Right.
fucking commercials during my fucking.
Right. And you don't know who's playing in cricket. So I'm saying you not knowing something doesn't change the caliber of the product that's being played or aired or whatever.
I'm
That
saying
just means
it's
you
that.
don't know about something. But the world can go and still spin whether Jose or Matt or Ryan does or does not know something. It still
Well,
happens whether we know about it or not. That was my point. So I'm going to say I don't think it's trash. I think it's exactly as it's been for the last however many years.
Josh,
Now, there's people who would call that trash, and it's hard to. They have not changed. So if you've always thought they were trash, then I suppose that I simply have to just say okay. But I don't think it's gotten worse. I don't think there's anything bad. I think the difference is they tried to make it a little bit popular, and God forbid, and I'll just say it, God forbid, ladies try and make men pay attention to their sports. I think that's a big part of this and made everybody upset. And now we're looking to take them down a peg that does it's not deserved. That they are exactly where they were 2 years ago when nobody was paying attention at all. So the idea that they've somehow fallen off, I think, is wrong.
Okay. Okay.
next year they're gonna be falling when they're fucking on a lockout and nobody gives two shits.
They're gonna what now?
They're gonna go into a lockout and nobody gives two shits.
Well, yeah, I do think that them refusing to play is a poor decision. Not because they don't deserve more money. We've talked about it on the show. They do. But because they don't have any leverage. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like the league, I mean, the league will go under, but that's it. Like ESPN will just air more like more men's basketball. You know what I mean? Like, or not say ESPN, but all of them, all of the networks will just do more with men's basketball. They're gonna get their money no matter what. So I do think it's tough for them to do a walkout without a larger fan base. And then if anybody crosses the picket line to play on the promise of more money, then that's the whole thing will fall apart. And I think there's several people, some of them high profile, by the way, who would do that without
And
question.
some of them, and the rest of the bench, that only makes like $15,000 a year. Yeah.
Well, they got another job, to be honest with you. They're actually the least likely to do it. They all got other jobs. I'm talking about some other people, but
Yeah, Ryan, do you think there's any chance
of
this sport will ever be a thing unless Caitlin Clark gets healthy?
well, yeah, the fact that she can't stay healthy for a full season is real problematic for them because they built the whole premise of the sport being, built up on her. Probably because she's the best player that they have. We've talked about this in another episode, the idea that like sometimes you have to get lean to grow. Um, and I do wonder if perhaps we've tried to like superimpose too much of the NBA onto the WNBA. Like try to just be like it's the same league but women. And I think in doing that, no, I mean I'm
It
not.
didn't work.
I think in doing that, it made them almost bloated as a company in a way that they couldn't afford and frankly didn't need. I think they could have had a smaller league, maybe honestly even like a 4-on-4 league, and they could have played it differently. They could have changed some rules. They could have but kept other ones. Maybe relax on fouls in a way that the NBA doesn't. I think that they could have done things to really improve how it visually looks to people so that it feels not like the NBA but women, but more like women playing basketball. And it's the same thing. I think in the other one that we talked about, it was about boxing and like, pro wrestling was kind of alluded at in that too in UFC. It's like you try too hard to make this big grand thing like it once was when it's not really there anymore or perhaps never was there. Sometimes you have to strip it back down to like its core base level and start rebuilding and making the money back. And there's just too many hangers-ons, too many like bloated extra stuff. And I think that that's honestly at this point, in addition to Caitlin Clark being hurt, um, I think that's the biggest problem they have. And you can look at women's college basketball, which is significantly more popular than the WNBA, as excuse me, as proof that there is a market. They just have to figure out why, as soon as they graduate college, it doesn't work. And I think it's going to come down to presentation and it's going to come down to things like that. It's not the players. All those players that play in the WNBA were playing in sold out college games their senior year or junior year or whatever. So it's not that. I think it's about presentation and it's about little things, but they add up.
I hear that. And you know who also presents an amazing presentation? That
Who?
is Magic Mind.
Ah.
Magic Mind, one of the great things that has ever been introduced in my life. If you're like me, who has a lot going for him in his life, from work to school. No, not school. I wish I was in school, but if I was in school, I would use that. But from work to life to friends, family, trying to keep everything sane in your life. And if there's anything that I've found as being a great boost for me, it's Magic Mind. Magic Mind is this amazing drink, the world's first productivity shot, that through its signature nootropics, matchas, adaptions, and other great ingredients, helps you become more focused and puts you at ease for the day ahead. It helps you have a more clear mind. It helps gives you an extra step when you are walking. It helps you just feel a lot better in the stressful world of ours. And because of Magic Mind and because I've taken it for such a long time, my quality of life has definitely improved and it has improved a lot. And I really thank Magic Mind for what they've done with these green tea shots and making me live my best life. I also really thank them for the sleep aid shots that I take before bed. And I truly have a beautiful night's sleep and feel well rested when I wake up. And it's been so great for me. I'm sure it's been the same for you, Ryan.
It has. It has. We've talked about Matt just did a phenomenal job talking about both shots, the vitamins, the nootropics. One of the things that we don't always talk about is the fact that it actually tastes pretty good. No, in all
It
seriousness, like,
has.
so like I take the green tea right before coffee, and like I've had other, there's times when my Magic Mind's run out and I've tried another shot. I know, from like the grocery store or whatever, and like to drink that and then immediately drink a coffee is so gross. It's just horrible. Whereas Magic Mind, it does not like that at all. It pairs well with the coffee. You could take the Magic Mind, you could take your coffee, start drinking your coffee right after on your way to the train, on your way to the bus, on your way to your car, and it's not going to ruin the taste, for like 20 minutes like some other things will do. At night, same thing. You don't want to have a bad taste in your mouth while you're trying to go to sleep. That'll defeat the purpose. I would say the night one kind of has like a berryish taste to it, if I'm being honest. It's different than the green, but it is still again a pleasant taste that isn't going to be distracting while you're trying to like relax. So the taste is good. We've already talked about what's in it, and the price is good. You're going to buy 5 hour energies or sodas every day at 3 o'clock because you're crashing because your coffee wore off, right? You do Magic Mind in the morning, and all day you've got yourself enough energy, enough focus to complete all the tasks you have and to set yourself up for success the next day by, going to the gym, getting your stuff done, etc. So, I think you don't get a better value with any of the other ways that people try and keep their energy up. You can't beat the fact that it actually kind of tastes good. What more can you want?
I don't know, dude. I don't know, but I don't need much more if I have a Magic Mind in my life. So go to magicmind.com/PCJune for 48% of your first subscription or 20% of your first one-time purchase. That's magicmind.com/PCJune for 48% of your first subscription or 20% of your first one-time purchase. Magic Mind, reclaim your brain. All right, Ryan, give us your next and final nuclear opinion of this show.
Nobody needs a 40-hour work week. The work week should not be longer than 25 to 30 hours for any person anywhere, but I live in America, so we'll start here. That's the nuclear opinion. Obviously, there's a generational divide, although I'd be curious to see what Jose and Matt think. But look, we don't build stuff in factories anymore. We don't need the full 40 hours. That's old. That's old time. Like that's how the old timer industries used to work. Nowadays, most people are pretending to work anyway, especially like, folks who have like a computer job where they just stare mind-numbingly at a screen all day. Obviously, there are jobs that require more physical work. You could still give those folks the same hours by just having, frankly, more people hired and better shifts and also paying people more. That's all part of this. I'm not suggesting we all work less and get paid less. I'm suggesting we get paid roughly what we get paid now, but we just get the job done and we don't have to spend all that extra nonsense time. Other countries have tried it. It's always worked. No country has ever said, "Oh yeah, the short work week didn't work." Um, and I think people will be happier. Everyone's burned out and tired all the time. And then they're angry. And when they're angry, they yell at each other, and it's no good. So if everyone's got more time to themselves, more time with their families, they'll be happier. And if they're happier, they won't be so mad at one another. And if they're not so mad at one another, the world will be a better place. So your move, corporate America. You want to fix the world or no? And obviously the answer, of course, is no. But if you did 25 to 30 hour work week, fastest way to do it.
Bring the boom, Ryan. Bring the boom.
What do you guys think? I'm serious. Yeah.
I mean, that is as good as it gets. So keep it at
Yeah,
that.
yeah, nice
Who wants
wishful
to
thinking.
freaking work more?
Yeah,
All right.
who's
Well,
gonna debate you
okay.
on that?
Obviously, I'm not saying that. Yes. Obviously, everyone personally would be like, wouldn't it be awesome to work less? I'm saying, do you think it's an actually reasonable idea?
How many hours?
Yeah, be honest. That's what I'm saying. Oh,
He said how
25 to
many?
30.
It works.
Why not?
I think it works. You see what I'm saying? Like it does. 40 hours is an arbitrary number. It's for nothing. If we grew up in a world where it was 30 hours a week, we wouldn't be like, wow, I wish we had 10 more hours. We'd be like, oh, yeah, 30 hours a week. That's what you work. The only reason we say that about 40 is because that's what it is. If they changed it, it'd be weird for us, but by the time our kids got to work, they'd just be like, oh yeah, it's 30 hours. That's what you do. You know what I mean? It's 10 hours you get back in your day. 10 or your week. 10 hours. You do a lot in 10 hours. Write a novel. 10 hours a week. By the end of the year, you could have a movie.
All right. My nuclear opinion, Allison is correct when I explained my situation, and she said, I yes, F her. So Allison is right. That's my nuclear opinion. Allison is more right than wrong.
Okay. Hard disagree. For the same reason that I hard disagreed with it when Matt said it. Now just everything I said.
When discussed about the situation from the earlier segment, Allison said I was right.
Right. So when I said Matt was wrong in the earlier segment, I'm now
Oh.
saying again that Matt is wrong, but this time Allison said it. So Allison is wrong, but it's the same as Matt being wrong, and the reasons are exactly the same. We've gone through them. Um, I will just add, for the sake of this segment, that folks, it could get really easy, and I do mean this, and this is about other things, not just about relationships. It get really easy when you get down to kind of just close off a bit, get cynical or jaded or whatever. And there was a time, and I think this is true, where that was like the popular way to be. Like kind of too cool for it, or don't let it bother you. It's whatever sort of vibe, jaded, essentially. Cynical. Those were things that I think were idolized, and that was a mistake. We should never have idolized those two things. They're not good. And we got to push. This is like a mini nuclear opinion. We got to push back on that. We got to stop being cynical and jaded. We got to start being hopeful and positive. Because, I mean, there's not a lot to be hopeful and positive about, but if we don't even try, we're never going to make it.
And my other best friend, my non-best friend involved with content, my best friend from college, when explaining the situation, doesn't seem that invested.
Mm-hmm. I don't know other best friend's name. Strong disagree.
Oh.
I mean, actually, to be clear, I don't strong disagree that she doesn't seem invested. I've said very clearly she doesn't seem invested. I just don't think she needs to be invested. She's never met you. So I should make that clarity, like that point clear. He's right. She doesn't seem all that invested. But she has not met you. Why would she be showing you extra attention if she doesn't know who you are?
Jose, your turn. Finish this off.
Oh man. Trying to pick a good one.
Yeah, let's make it juicy so we can end on a bang.
The only one I can think of is I was watching this TV show called The Dinosaurs, and that has the most saddest ending
Oh,
of a
yeah.
series I had ever fucking saw in my life.
The comedy?
Yeah, with the puppet guys, yeah? Or whatever they are. They're puppets, right?
Freaking that ending was so
Yeah.
freaking sad that it made me
Spoiler.
want to call everybody. and say I love
I mean,
them.
this is a very old show, guys. So yes, spoiler alert on the off chance you're gonna pick up the dinosaurs in the year of our Lord 2025. But yeah, you know what's interesting? We don't do that anymore with kids shows. You know?
Would you really consider that show a kid show though?
It's like a sitcom, right? It was like a family
Yeah,
show. It's a
yeah.
family show, but we don't do that anymore. Like even and obviously a little different than the world freezing over, but like with Mr. Feeney with his goodbye speech when they graduate and class dismissed, right? Like that was sad. That was a touching end to that series. And we don't do that. We don't have touching end. We have big dramatic ends maybe. We obviously will have kind of, you know, fiery explosive ends where people, blood and guts and spectacle. It's all about spectacle now. We don't have any quiet, understated, somber endings. And I, as Matt can tell you, obviously Matt and I are both, we both try and, do creative things with writing and whatnot. I love myself a somber, sad ending. I hate it when it's a happy ending. Like, I don't want it to be too sad. I don't want,
I
like,
just
oh,
want a
everybody dies.
justified ending.
Well, yeah, obviously it has to be justified. But I'm saying, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I want it all to wrap up nicely. I was like, I want it all to wrap up, and then that's it. I don't. I like it when it's not perfectly happy at the end. I like when something bad, maybe it leads to something good, maybe it doesn't lead to anything at all, but life keeps going. I love a somber ending.
Hmm.
We need to do more of those in all of media, but they used to be in like every
'Cause I'm
family
just
show.
a teenage
I have one more
dirtbag
nuclear
baby.
opinion. I just
Oh
got
yeah,
remembered.
yeah, yeah.
Since we're getting into the Christmas, I mean, not Christmas, Halloween spirit.
Ooh, I love Halloween.
Halloween is the best horror franchise of all time, and there's nothing to debate against it.
You know, I only watched the first movies of all those franchises, the first one, the originals. I didn't take the time to look at the sequels. So I don't really can't really say much on a franchise. I
Well,
do think it's the best horror movie for sure. I think it is.
Halloween,
Or
Halloween
Psycho
3.
to be old, to be that dude to say it, but it is
Yeah,
brilliant.
but how many
But
motherfuckers really
Psycho's
saw
only
Psycho?
one movie.
You really nowadays, when you say Psycho, they don't think of the original Psycho. They heard about it, but they never saw it. They fucking think of what's in Christian Bale's Psycho.
American Psycho.
That's American Psycho.
It's the
Different
same
movie.
shit.
Good movie, but different movie.
Wait, they're different. They're two different
Um,
words.
Oh well, same shit.
I'm thinking like, so I know I personally have always been a Friday the 13th guy.
Really?
Specifically, yes, that's of the three. I mean, you talk about the three big ones, right? You got, or I guess there's more than three. There's like four big ones. You got Halloween, you got Friday the 13th, you got the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff with Freddy Krueger, and you got what's it called? Scream. Right? I think that those are probably the four main
Ooh,
guys.
you will put Scream there? Jeez.
Yeah, who would you put instead at number four?
Four is debatable. You can put anybody at four realistically. You could put Hellraiser, some people put Chainsaw
Well, no,
Massacre,
so
some
like,
people.
so I
Like-
personally like so there are two franchises that I really like that I would love to put it for, and they're Child's Play and Tremors. But I
Tremors,
don't.
come on, Ryan. You put Tremors, that piece of
I
shit.
would not. No, I wouldn't. That's why I'm saying. Like, I
Oh.
love those movies. They're great movies. But I do think if I was just being fair and honest in like the iconic horror genre, Scream is number four. So I would say though, like my favorite is Friday the 13th, but I don't know if the best is Halloween. As a franchise, they had some real stinkers in Halloween.
That wouldn't even put like fucking Scream. It became more of like a fucking mystery. You're trying to figure out who did it.
Yeah,
Like, there's-
I think though that almost that's better for a movie.
'Cause when you think about Michael Myers, Freddy, and Jason, they don't give a fuck. Like you don't give a fuck. They like it's already. You already know who they are. You already know what they just kill for the
Okay.
kill of it. But
Then I'll tell you
Scream is
what-
like
so
it's
I'll
a
tell you what,
fucking
then.
Clue movie.
So I was gonna say Scream is number one because it's got most of the storyline, right? Like it's
Mhm.
actually a movie where you got stuff like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. But if we're talking pure spectacle, then I still don't think it's Halloween. I think if we do that, that's when Friday the 13th wins. They've got the most, just the most. They do the most. They sent him to space and to hell. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot to do. And Manhattan, of all places. So, like, I really think if you're going for, like, blood sport spectacle, it's Friday the 13th. But if you're going with the most consistently entertaining franchise as a movie franchise, it's Scream. But I do think the original Halloween is the scariest of any of those movies.
See, I mean, Jason, Friday 13th, they try to reboot that shit so many times and failed so many times that you can't even fucking put it number one.
I would say every Friday the 13th reboot has been better than every Halloween reboot.
Come on, Jason in space, man. Jason X, really?
No, yeah, but I'm saying reboot.
Come on.
That's not a reboot. That was a part of
Even
it.
though, okay,
Nonsense.
even they well, technically it was a reboot because they didn't connect to any fucking shit. They just
Well,
go, hey,
no,
well,
I'm
put
saying
them-
like they go back to Camp Crystal Lake and Jason's there. The reboot. They're taking the movie.
yeah, but if you go look at the last fucking Friday the 13th, it did trash.
Well, they all do trash because they're trying to remake a movie. They don't
Come
can't
on.
they got to make a new movie. I don't get why they keep trying to remake these other movies. We've
The
seen
only,
that movie.
let's be today nowadays, the closest one that could take the top spot is Terrifier.
Terrifier is gross. It's a grotesque movie.
Oh, come
Which is
on, man,
fine.
it's
To
amazing.
be clear, is fine. If people are really into it, I say go for it. And it's certainly a big spectacle. But I'm not a huge fan of Terrifier.
Art the Clown is amazing. I don't know if you ever met him in person.
No.
Hilarious.
I think the only horror person, this is the last bit on this, right? We'll talk more about it during Halloween, I'm sure. The
Yeah.
only horror franchise that actually stood up in a modern reboot, even a little bit, is the Child's Play TV show.
Yeah, because it added nostalgia.
Well,
seen
added
the TV.
nostalgia, but the doll, I think the Chucky doll still works in
Yeah.
2020 something. But Freddy, Jason, Freddy could work if they had a better writer.
Yeah, but nobody
But
wants to touch.
Jason, Mike Myers, all those quiet, lumbering, super killers, they don't work in modern times. They just don't work.
Too bad nobody would touch Freddy after that whole fucking
I know,
scene.
but they could. That would be the one that could do it, by the way. If
Yeah.
you had a good script and you really went after it, you can make that super scary. With cyberspace being a part of that too. But I think Child's Play is the one that adapted best to a modern, like 2020-esque society.
Yeah.
Good job, Ryan and Jose. Another Nuclear Opinions in the book. Check us out for other productive conversations, content on all podcast platforms and YouTube. See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.